Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Sanjay, the CEO and co-founder at Spyne. Hello.
Hey Christian, good. Thanks for inviting me to the podcast, and good to be here.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
Please tell us what is Spyne.
So, Spine is a deep tech company which is solving cataloging for internet commerce, right? So, any seller which is looking to go online with their product, so we help them shoot their products without using any professional photographer. So there's an application that guides them how to shoot a particular product like a professional photographer, right? So there are models which are built into the camera that will guide you how to shoot a food versus how to shoot a model versus how to shoot a real estate
Mm-hmm.
versus how to shoot a car, right? And then the camera takes you through with the filtering process, processing process, and then upload those images onto all those standard websites, Airbnb, CarMax, right? So Amazon, Flipkart, all of these companies. So we are category agnostic. So we serve multiple industries.
That's incredible. Wow.
Marketplace.
And what do you see is the biggest problem that you solve for companies?
Yeah, so we help them go online, right? So most of these sellers who are trying to sell things online, they do not have a way to beautifully capture their product images, right? If you just give them "Ki, hey, use your phone to capture your product, they will just shoot randomly their
Yeah,
images. They'll not know how many shots to take, how to take those shots, right? So unless they read a lot of stuff about how to do a product photography, they will not understand. So the application guides them on how to shoot their footwear versus, right? So it takes step by step process to get them those shots taken in a most professional manner, and then make those products live on those standard marketplaces, right? So that they avoid hiring all those professional photographers, studios, and then save a lot of cost and time.
absolutely. Absolutely. And who is your target audience? Who are you selling to?
We mostly are selling to, so we opened up automobile as a first category.
Yeah.
And right now we are targeting all those dealerships, auto dealerships in the USA and Europe
Mm-hmm.
region, right? So mostly single or multiple rooftop dealerships in the US, as well as marketplaces, the auction houses in the US. All of these companies are our target clients right now. So this is in automotive. The next industry that we are getting to is e-commerce, where we are targeting sellers, the
Makes
brands
sense.
and sellers now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But would it make sense for somebody that's just selling one product or wants to list on Airbnb to use your product, or is it just for people that want to do it on a mass scale?
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, so for bigger use cases,
Christian,
what are the best features?
what are the best features? So, I mean, there are a lot of apps in Google Play Store and App Store, but most
Mm-hmm.
of these applications are editing applications, photo editing applications, right? So
Yes.
what we instead are doing is we are enabling that camera function as a professional photographer, right? So that can guide you or me, hundreds of people, to shoot like a food photographer, to shoot like a real estate photographer,
Yeah.
to shoot like a automotive photographer, right? So this is one of the best features that we have created, where we have deployed almost 30 to 40 different computer vision models
Mm-hmm.
that understand the object and automatically transform that camera into that particular object photography device.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear one customer success story if you can share with us.
Customer story, right? Right, yeah. So I'll talk about one of the companies who we recently onboarded. So maybe I'll not take the name of that particular company.
Without a name, yeah, it's perfect.
Right.
Yeah,
So it is a
just how
very
you help them.
very big brand in India. So they wanted to launch their used car business in India,
Mm-hmm.
and that used car business in India was to be launched across all those like 30 odd cities, all across the
Okay.
city, right? So there was a big problem on how to get those car photography done across those 30 odd cities. So how it happens in the industry is a lot of large companies actually set up those car studios where the cars are driven, they are planted there, and then there's an automated way of camera shooting that happens where the platform rotates. So such platforms actually cost about 40 to 50 thousand dollars on each setup, right? So
Wow.
this company earlier, before before using us, they were planning to use those 30-40 setups all across the country, which
Wow.
was very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So they piloted with us where they deployed our application to all those 30-40 cities using their field stuff, right? Field people who are doing those shoots. So we got them shoot the car using our video shooting experience and then transformed that all of these cars which are shot in like 20 different cities into a uniform experience of a premium studio. And then this company went live with almost like 3 odd thousand cars in the next like 1 or 2 3 months period, 1 quarter period, which otherwise would have taken almost like a year, like 12 months, 12 to 15 months of launching and enormous costs. So this was one of the big use cases that we solved for that company. And
Mm-hmm.
similarly, we launched many other companies in the same fashion. In India, Europe, US, we are doing for a lot of dealerships now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we are doing.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing. What are your integrations?
What are the
Integrations.
integrations? So yeah, we are doing all standard integrations with let's say in the US, if you are aware of a company called Cox Auto. So they are one of the largest dealership providers, software providers. So we are doing integrations with them.
Mm-hmm.
In the e-commerce domain, we are doing integrations with all Amazon, Flipkart, Walmart is closely working with us.
Mm-hmm.
Then Shopify, right? So all these standard integrations we are picking and completing right now. So yeah, as multiple industries have different types of marketplaces and platforms. So we have almost done 30 to 40 odd integrations already. And the pipeline is to do about like 200 plus integrations in the next 3-4 quarters.
That's fantastic. And what is the pricing for Spine?
Pricing is pretty like based on there are two pricing models. One pricing model is based on every car that is getting processed. We charge certain dollars,
Mm-hmm.
and the pricing model varies on the number of cars that you subscribe to every month. So it varies between $4 per car to about $12 per car. So a small dealer will get it at $10 to $12 per car, but a
Yeah.
very large dealership like Lithia or Penske Motors in the US, we can go as low as $4 to $5 per car as well.
I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. And do you have any competitors? Are you the first tool to solve this problem?
So we are one of the first company that have started using generative AI to
Mm-hmm.
transform that cars.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a few companies which were already doing cataloging in the US. So we have about like 2 to 3 competitors, but they are not using AI to transform the car from the real world shoot to a premium studio, which is our unique value proposition.
I understand. I totally understand. And when did you start the company?
We started this company in the late 2020, almost 3.5 years now.
And why did you choose to solve this particular problem?
Because I've been associated with this industry, like internet commerce industry, for almost 10-12 years. Worked
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of companies in the past, which was Amazon, yeah, some of the travel tech companies. So I worked with a lot of companies to solve their vendor onboarding process, seller onboarding process.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the key challenges that was there in those seller onboarding process was getting their catalog online, where we were engaging those freelancers, photographers, professionals. It was taking a lot of time.
Yeah.
So when the computer vision was evolving, so we figured out that hey, this is one of the problems that can scale very, very vast. I mean, across the globe it can vast if you solve it correctly. So we picked up one industry. Hey, let's solve it for automobile first, and we have clients across all major countries. So Brazil, Europe, like multiple countries in Europe, US, Canada, in
Mm-hmm.
India, Southeast Asia, Middle East, everywhere. Like almost 20 plus countries we have clients in.
That's
So,
fantastic.
yeah,
How big is your team right now?
we are roughly about 120 people in the company.
Okay. Have you raised any funding?
Yes, we raised about 8 million funding,
Mm-hmm.
8 million
And
USD funding.
okay.
Uh,
And do you think you found the product market fit?
yes, so we already had a product market fit back then, because see we are working with almost like 70 plus customers right now,
Mm-hmm.
with fairly like decently sized customers
Okay.
already. So and very, very large pipeline of US dealerships who will be signing up pretty soon.
And was your last round the Series A?
It was kind of touching towards Series A. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I'd love to know what was your biggest challenge since starting the company?
Biggest challenge was 3 years back. AI was not that common like the way it is right now.
Yeah.
So we had to build a lot of models grounds up. There are not much of expertise and data and the knowledge also available. So that is one of the key challenges that we solved in the initial days. And getting source of data is one of the like major challenges, because as an early company you won't have that specialized data. So we got a lot of data annotators work with us to generate the kind of data we needed. That happened for almost about a year or so. This was
Hmm.
like one of the challenges which where we created our own generative AI models. The second challenge is, of course, we are a company which is based in India right now. We are trying to build our business in the US, which is altogether a different market.
Yeah.
So hiring people there, getting them do our business development, right? Setting up the right processes in the US. So all of these two are the major challenges that we are solving.
And how about the biggest mistake that you made in the past 3 years with your company?
So many of them, right? So
Okay.
biggest mistake was we went into many industries at the same time,
Mm.
which uh, which led to a lot of shallowness in the product development that we were doing,
Mm.
right? So once we started focusing into one industry, the problem started like becoming deeper and deeper. We were able to extract real value, right? So earlier we were doing all kinds of use cases. Then we focused on, right, 80 to 90% of the companies focused on solving automotive as a use case, right? And then we are starting maybe 10 to 15% of the company with some or other use cases. We are doing research right now and launching some of the pilots with the customers, right? So that change in strategy and the priority actually helped us unlock a lot of value.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to ask you, how did you get your first customers?
It was through a lot of hit and trial. So the product that we were building was almost first in the industry, right? So what we are saying is कि you are setting up those studios, large physical car shooting studios.
Hmm.
You don't need those studios, right? So shoot it on the open ground, and we'll give you that studio digitally, right? So this was altogether a new concept that we launched, but the problem was, how do you convince large companies to not do that? Of course, the
Yeah.
cost advantage was there, but we were not a proven company. Neither the product was proven. So we picked up one of the large companies in India, and we actually set up some lightweight studios on the open grounds.
Okay.
Not studio, basically a covered space where the car can be brought in. I mean
Hmm.
that would have cost about like $3,000-4,000 versus $40,000-50,000, right? So that kind of setup, we created temporary setup, brought the car in, shot it using the application, and so we ran this particular pilot, which went on for almost like 2 months, where the company got convinced that hey, this can work in the controlled shoot setting. And we of course had some connection which helped us get this particular pilot. That pilot ran for almost 3 months. After that, they started setting up these kind of lightweight studios in 4 5 cities. But unfortunately, most of these studios fell down because these were not very strongly footed studios, right? Not built with concrete and
Yeah.
all. So gradually it was a learning journey. We figured out that hey, we do not need a studio at all. We can shoot in the open ground itself.
Wow.
So in roughly 3 to 6 months, the product also evolved. Our relations also improved with the company, and we were able to launch it with them.
That's super
So
smart.
so that
Yeah.
took us almost 6 months, first customer. But once we locked in this particular use case, so we were able to like onboard a lot many customers using
Of
this.
course. Of course. I love to hear your best growth strategy for getting customers.
Best terms,
Best growth strategy.
best
Uh,
terms you said, or what?
no, I was curious to know the best go-to-market strategy that you
Best
used
good
for
go to
getting
market.
customers. Yeah.
Okay, got it. I mean, we are right now targeting dealerships in the US, which is more or less an offline market. They are not very tech savvy in the US, right? So how to sell these people? But these are the guys who love to experiment with new technologies, love to be shown new technologies,
Yes.
right? So we are doing a lot of events in the US, automotive dealership events. So setting up our
Mm.
booth just last month we were in Tampa, in a very large exhibition with the name Digital Dealer.
Mm.
Next month, we are doing another dealership exhibition in Vegas with the name NIADA. So we are doing almost like 5 to 6 dealership exhibition where every dealership exhibition almost has like 200 to 400 footfalls of the dealers, right? So the target is to get to about 500 to 1,000 dealers by end of the year, which we think via this exhibition route and setting up another outbound sales team in the US would solve this particular purpose. So we have also hired 3 people in the US who are selling actively to the dealers. So they do set up demos, do the demos, and then close the deals. That's how
That
we do.
sounds awesome. And I love to hear your vision for the future.
None of us have visa for the future.
The vision, your main vision with the company. What are your future plans?
Vision, yeah. I mean, the vision is to become the de facto catalog provider of the internet, right? So any seller who has a need to go online, basically come to Spine. Either we have their catalog, or they can create their catalog using us, right? So we'll become the catalog repository for any industry. So this is the vision that we are creating.
And
So
now,
you as a seller, yeah, please.
please continue.
You as a seller do not have to be dependent on any external party to get your product online. Just come to Spine. There's a tech that will give you a fast repository. If the repository does not have your product, then there's a way to get that product shoot done on your own using Spine.
Of course, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, I understand. And now, more on the personal side, I love to hear how you started your career.
So I graduated from one of the best engineering colleges in India called IIT Kharagpur.
Hmm.
You know Google, right? So Google CEO is our alumni. So he is also a graduate from our college, my college
Wow.
itself. So 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 I graduated from that particular college and then joined. I mean, some MNCs here. PwC was one of the first companies that I joined, and PricewaterhouseCoopers, and then I was part of some other startups in India. I've been with Yatra, Oyo, Amazon, all of these companies. Played a deep tech and product roles in these companies. 12 years of working with these companies, I started Spine almost 4 years back.
And
Right,
what's your
so
best piece of advice for a starting founder?
you'll have to go deep into any industry and possibly solve hard problems because that's where the value unlocking becomes evident. If you solve surface level problems, there are so many people solving all of these things, right? So you won't be able to build value. So
Exactly. Thanks so much for sharing. And now I have one last question left. What's your favorite software product apart from Spine?
my favorite product, I mean, of course, the kind of interface WhatsApp has created, right? It is a revolutionary product. I think I spent almost like 3 to 4 hours. It has just become a part of my life now,
Yeah.
everyone's life. So WhatsApp and Slack has just revolutionized the way communication is happening, right? So these two definitely are one of the favorite products that, and we aspire to build an interface which is as simple as WhatsApp for photo shooting. So this is what I keep on communicating in our company as well. That
Th-
okay,
That's a great
we'll build.
vision. Is there anything else that you want to mention on today's podcast?
No, I think good to be speaking with you, Christian, and lovely to be here. Uh, so yeah, this is it.
Thank you so much for joining.